I'm gonna show you guys the Xbox peripheral that I've been working on for some time. Um, it's a controller split in half with the 7-inch LCD inside. I wanted to work on this because if you want to, my Xbox is out in my living room, and so if I wanted to play in my bedroom or something, I don't want to keep moving around. So I was like, I'll just make this. Um, as you can see, the size is relatively large, but here's this LCD right now. This was a before, so you can just see the comparison. Here's it. This was the original one, and that. So it's a lot smaller. And that hump you see back here, that's where just the batteries are. So besides that, all the thickness, everything inside of the main components are in here. But right here. There's three 3.7 lithium-ion batteries in there. They're all hooked up in series around 12 volts. Um, and this was actually done all by hand. I cut the controller in half with just a serrated knife, and the screen was made smaller with just a serrated knife. Then I JB welded everything, sanded it down. Then I bondoed everything out and sanded it down. So this was actually all done by hand. I'll show you guys right now the smoothness of it. It was all done by hand. I wish I had better tools though, because right here it looks pretty bad. Like in these joints right here, because it was hard to get with the sandpaper. But it was the first one, so obviously, you live and learn. And like I said, inside there's about 100 solder connection between the controller. Was splitting the controller in half took up the main connections, and that was really hard. I used flat ribbon cable, but still, that ends up taking a lot of space because you need some on the bottom and top. So the whole thickness changed. So I was actually surprised I was able to fit everything this thinly. It's barely an inch thick, if it's even an inch thick. Not excluding where the batteries are. Because there's a wireless receiver, the LCD driver board, and the Xbox PCB. With a wireless receiver, I have to do a ton of capacitor flattening. And also inside here, there's also the little circuit I built to step down the 12 volts down to 5 volts and 3.3 volts. With playing everything on, I get about a 3 hour, no way, like an hour and a half gameplay. And I feel like I could get about 2 hours if I was to make a more efficient step down, PCB, because right now I get about 62% efficiency. Now I can change that, fix it, in due time if I was to make it again. I think I'm gonna work on another project, but this was a fun project to do between. I worked on it here and there a little bit between school and practice and homework. I just worked on it for a little bit. Didn't do much. All in all, I'm in about $100 for the screen, the receiver, all the wiring, tactile switches, and the PCB I built. I'm excluding the controller because I had those. Obviously, if you want to count the controller to that, but whatever. But yeah, see, it does work. Where the receiver is, I just turned off the receiver. The receiver inside of it is it's a 5.8 gigahertz. So I get really clear sound quality or video quality though, because my router is only 2.4, and the 5.8 you couldn't miss most of the microwave frequencies, so you didn't get any of the static frizz in there. I'm just playing right now. Playing some Grand Theft Auto. Just railed into a cop. Come and get me, man. Come and get me. It's actually really comfortable to play in the controller. Here, I'll pause the game. I'll pause it. Because the original controller it's slanted inward, so when you hold it, you hold it like this. For me, I got about a 16-degree angle between here. So when I, lengthen the controller out, on mine slant inwards a little bit so I can maintain this angle right here. That was done. It worked out really well because it feels comfortable in my hands, So I'll just show you guys it. Let me get out of this. Get up, get up. You're not going to jail today. Yes. So as you guys can see, I don't get much static, if any, really. Run. Oh. But yeah, it's fun to play. It's definitely not awkward. all in all, it's about 3.5 pounds, 4 pounds, you know. So, but here, enough with the gameplay. I'm gonna just turn it off, and I'll show you guys the actual case. Now you guys can see up close of it. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out, making all that by hand and sanding it by hand too. And it only cost me about $100 to produce everything. That was really cheap. So yeah. So I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want another video of showing the actual gameplay of it, I can. Just let me know. I don't know what to mainly. I don't know what to mainly include. But and also, you guys, before one last thing, if you see that texture looks authentic to the original Xbox 360 controller, I was able to find some spray paint, semi-gloss. It was enamel that really caught that feel the same. Oh, also, all the screws in here for the LCD housing and the control, they all use the standard. It still uses the standard Torx 7 or Torx 8, whatever it is, security ones that the Xbox 360 uses. I like that engineering aspect of it, is maintaining